All the big names in free agency have signed, so now it's time to give them a grade. I'll be taking into account all sorts of things, but mainly how long and how much the contract is worth. Let's start off with an absolute banger. Carlos Correa to the Minnesota Twins. This one was a shocker. No one figured Carlos Correa would go to the Minnesota Twins. Are you kidding me? If you thought that at the beginning of free agency, props to you, because no one else did. He has signed for 3 years, $105 million. That's $35 million a year on average. And what do I give this grade? I give the Twins a A-. I think this is awesome to get Carlos Correa whenever you have the opportunity to. The only downside is he has opt-outs after his first and second year, so he could potentially bounce after 1 year of being in Minnesota. But regardless, he's 27 years old, coming off arguably his best season in his career, so I can't fault the Twins going out and signing Carlos Correa no matter what the contract looks like. At the end of the day, shipping out Josh Donaldson to get Carlos Correa is always a W in my books. Moving on to Corey Seager to the Texas Rangers. Corey Seager signed a 10-year, $325 million deal, so that is $32.5 million per year for the next 10 years. I give the signing a B- for the Rangers. I think right now his defense is average, and I think it is declining already. Health concerns would be the biggest thing for me, especially at a 10-year deal. He plays a premium position at shortstop, which is good. He should be in his prime right now, and his bat is without a doubt his biggest asset, and he is so good at the plate. From a team's perspective, I don't like long contracts, but I do get them because you're paying the player while he's in his prime, and you'll take the hit later on when he's not as good just to have him during his prime. The only problem is the Rangers aren't really in a spot to compete right now, and I don't think they will be next year unless they add even more good free agents. Their farm system isn't the greatest. At the end of the day, I can't fault the Rangers because they got Corey Seager, and I'll talk about the next guy later, Marcus Semien, and give a grade for him in a bit. But for right now, Corey Seager, B-. Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers. That is the next one we got. 6 years, $160 million. That is a AAV of $26.6 million, and I give this deal an absolute A+. Are you kidding me? Getting Freddie Freeman? The deal's not too long. It's not a 10-year deal, you know. Freddie's getting up there in age a little bit, because even when Freddie gets older, he could just transition to the DH spot in the National League now with the universal DH. He's not your typical first baseman power hitter where he relies on his power to be good at the plate. He is such a good hitter overall that he doesn't have to rely on his power to produce at the plate. This is why I think he'll be one of those timeless players, one of those guys that even as he ages, he'll still be very productive. So at $26.6 million, adding him to the lineup that's already stacked is a absolute steal for the Dodgers. Still butthurt to see him go to the Dodgers, though. I wish he was a Brave for life. That's how I saw it, but you know, it's business. Baseball is a business. Major League Baseball is a business. Everything doesn't pan out like that. Now we're going to talk about another new Texas Ranger. That is Marcus Semien. He signed a 7-year, $175 million deal with an AAV of $25 million. I give this one a B. In my opinion, I like this signing more just for the fact that Marcus Semien has proved to be very durable. As long as he doesn't have a major injury that hinders his career going forward, he's proven that he is not a fluke. He is legit, man. At the plate, he absolutely rakes, and I think on defense, he is better than people give him credit for. I give this a B and not a B-. A little bit better than the Corey Seager signing, and it's even better that they made both of those players sign this offseason. If just one of them were to sign with the Rangers, I think they'd get a lower grade just for the fact that they're not in a position to compete. But you have Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. I think that's a pretty good deal, regardless of how much you're paying them. Next up, we have Max Scherzer, who signed a 3-year, $130 million deal for an AAV of $43.3 million. I give this deal a A-. It is everything that the Mets need. Another ace. No signs of slowing down for Mad Max in the future. I understand Steve Cohen has come in and is willing to spend a lot of money, but you gotta understand Mad Max at some point, hopefully it is not within the next 3 years, because they are paying this man $43 million per year, and it would be a shame to see him sidelined to an injury. For the Mets now, with the signings they've made, it seems like a deep playoff run or bust, World Series or bust. The other biggest surprise in the top free agent market has been Kris Bryant signing with the Colorado Rockies. A 7-year, $182 million deal with the Rockies for an AAV of $26 million. I give this signing a C. I would have liked to seen Kris Bryant go to a contender, but he has gotten a deal that will get him the money for the next 7 years. I like Kris Bryant as a player. He can play anywhere, in the field, but it just seems odd for the Rockies to make this move. I understand that Kris Bryant's a good player, but I don't think this was the guy the Rockies should have signed to a long-term deal, especially after getting rid of Arenado and running Story out of town. Hopefully, Kris Bryant can return to that MVP form in his early days with the Cubs, because I like seeing him play. The next signing I think will turn out to be the best signing out of this whole class, and that is Trevor Story to the Red Sox. He signed a 6-year, $140 million deal, and I give this one a A+. Why do I give him an A+? I think at $23 million per year, that is an awesome deal, a steal for the Red Sox, in my opinion. I would like to see Trevor Story stay at shortstop and move Xander over to second instead of moving Story over to second. Story is an elite defender at shortstop, and Xander is not an elite defender at shortstop. So I would like to see Xander over at second and Story at short. But dude's a beast. He's going to drop bombs, make some sick plays in the field, and watch out, man, that Red Sox lineup, because I think it can contend to be one of the best lineups in baseball. Robbie Ray, 5-year, $115 million deal with my Seattle Mariners, and I think this move deserves an A. The Mariners finally got a pitcher that is a frontline starter and will be the ace of the team these coming years. Honestly, I've loved Robbie Ray ever since he's been with the D-backs. He's been a stud. The only problem is he walks a lot of guys, and he finally figured it out last year and won a Cy Young. So we know what Robbie Ray can do when he keeps the ball in the zone and not walking guys. The deal isn't too long. They're not paying him too much per year. I think that's a reasonable amount. Now, I just hope that he can continue his success that he had from last year. Plus, the Mariners are pushing towards contention these coming years, so I think within 5 years, we'll be a good, solid playoff team with all our prospects up, so I think it's the perfect length anyways. The last guy I want to talk about today is Nick Castellanos signing with the Philadelphia Phillies for a 5-year, $100 million deal. This deal gets a B from me. To keep it short and simple, you're adding an electric bat to a lineup that's already filled with studs, and that outfield is gonna be looking pretty sick. Okay, but the defense will be kind of doo-doo because you have Schwarber now and Castellanos. They're not the greatest in the outfield, and that might be pushing it. They are pretty horrendous in the outfield, but Bryce Harper's pretty solid, got a cannon out there. But regardless, they'll have the universal DH now. Plug Schwarber and Castellanos in the DH and one in the corner outfield, and you are set. Let me know in the comments what you think of these signings. What grade would you give these signings yourself? If you're new to the channel, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more awesome MLB content that will be coming your way. Opening day is in a few weeks, so there'll be a ton of prediction videos coming your way that you won't want to miss. With that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.